Sorry.
Thank you, Chief. You never know what's going to happen at any time. As the Chief just mentioned, last time we were here for the Memorial Day ceremony, the whistle went off and then it went off again, and there was a major fire over at Clark Park. So, you know, it's unusual that we had the two fires right at that same time, but you know, Bethel's always on call and respond to the disasters that we have. So, you know, we'd like to take this time to thank all the firemen and the EMS people and our friends and neighbors from the area towns that came and helped support us. So with that, thank you again, and God bless the United States and the town of Bethel and our great firemen and EMS people. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Rich. Okay, would like to start, like I said, this is abbreviated. My other assistant, Chief Brendan Ryan's out on a call right now for wires down on Nashville. He'll be back momentarily. Assistant Chief Brewery and myself, we're going to do roll call. Master Chief Phil Valenti will be ringing the bell. Chief Engineer Bill Cadella and Firefighter Dave Broadhurst will be placing a wreath at this time. Past Chief Henry Baird. Past Chief Fred Hibbard. Richard Bailey. Charles Jackman. Horace Shepard. Blake Robeson. William Jackman. Walter Cohane. Arthur Beauregard. Past Chief Joseph Mofeld. John R. Nash. Edward Ferry. John H. Bourne. Peter Stankaitis. Frank Kovacs. Dr. Albert Trimper. Emery Obie. Joseph Klug. Walter Walker. Frank Slaving. George DeLong. Lawrence Torella. Louis Piccinini. Raymond Conklin. Joseph Menti. George Lucas. Thomas Post. Julius Red Bennett. Past Chief John Jackman. Gerald Mannion. Thomas Lynch. Past Chief George Austin. William Hennessy. John Streeman. Clyde M. Finger Sr. Walter Nelson. Frank Howat. James Murphy. G. Marshall Sanford. Ray Murad. Past Chief John Nichols. Francis Kirk. Arthur Kinane. Joseph Thomas. Joseph Garrick. John Wildman. William Brasso. Gordon Holtz. George Taylor. Edwin Brundage.
Past Chief Donald Clark. Henry French. Thomas Bergstrom. Walter Richard. John J. Main. Past Chief Herbert Webb. Carl Bergsford. Michael Picorello. Owen Gill. Laurel Heitch Sr. Rocco Grasso. Edward Amelia. Raymond Stage. Past Chief John Bud Schnabel. Past Chief T. Milton Durant. Frank Bigham. Forrest Packnode. Peter J. Valenti. Ira Pollock. Oral Heights Jr. Past Chief William Al Schnabel. Robert McKay. Richard Martin. Gerald Bowles. Dr. Reverend Richard Cunard. William Piccinini. Terry Dorf Devendorf. Fred Beckett. Premier Kai Arco. Past Chief Arthur Gilbert. Jack Stevenson. Larry Sear. Chris Mofield. Larry Ryan. Marcel Fortier. Fred Hawley. Leonard Link Kurgan. Sherman Slavin. Past Chief Clyde M. Finger Jr.
Thank you, Chief. This time I'd like to call up Tim Pelton. He is from the Connecticut State Honor Guard. He's got some stuff he's going to hand out to some people.
Good afternoon and welcome to a very special day for the Bethel Fire Department. My name is Tim Pelton and I'm the Commander Emeritus of the Connecticut Statewide Honor Guard. And I've been asked today to provide some information on the history and traditions in the fire service. I'm going to spend a few minutes and talk about the challenge coin. The challenge coin is a very unique phenomenon and an icon within the fire service and within the military. I want to take you back to World War I. Aircraft were new as a military weapon, and those that flew those flying machines tended to be the elite sons of those people well-heeled in the United States. One pilot was shot down, and as he tried to escape and get back to the airfield, he was captured by French partisans. They searched him. He had no identification except for a medallion that he had put together for his squadron. And it was identified that he was not a German spy. He was indeed an American pilot and was not executed and was returned to his unit. So from World War I to today, the use of the challenge coin has become an important icon within the military and the fire service. Now, a challenge coin is not given. A challenge coin is awarded for a job well done, for extreme patriotism, for concluding an important event. An event like today, the wet down at Bethel Fire. Now, it may not come as a complete shock, but on occasion, military and public safety, police, fire, EMS personnel will visit emporiums that sell alcohol. Hence, we now have the challenge component of the challenge coin. If you happen to be at your favorite bar or pub, and you wrap your challenge coin on the bar, you have sent out a challenge to all your other colleagues at the bar. The process is very simple. If they all respond with their challenge coin, it's my challenge to now pay for the next round of drinks. However, if my challenge is not responded to, everyone gets to buy the challenger a drink. Hence the term challenge coin. Now there's also a hierarchy within the challenge coin community. And the most prestigious challenge coin is the astronaut coin. One coin is made for every astronaut. The second most reverend coin is for the tomb guards that guard the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington. And then the hierarchy descends from there. Now each of the challenge coins that are presented today are numbered, 1 through whatever. So even within the Bethel community, if you have occasion to visit a bar or a pub and you want to challenge your colleagues, the number of your coin trumps the person next door. Now it sounds like a very simple process, but the challenge coin is a really special part of the traditions within the fire service. And a challenge coin is not just given, it's presented. It's held in the palm of your hand. You shake the right hand of the presentee, rotate your hand 90 degrees, and the coin is deposited in the recipient's hand. A lot of history and traditions we're going to talk about today, and this is just one, the challenge coin. It is my honor now to be able to start the challenge coin presentation process. And Chief Murphy, challenge coin number 1. Congratulations, sir. Chief Rui, challenge coin number 2. Congratulations. Now as I call your name, if you could come up to the table, we will continue the process.
Celebration of Life for ceremony for Clyde yesterday, and I was unable to get that into my schedule yesterday. I had so many things going on. I did prepare a proclamation that I'd like to present to the family. And Steve is here, and if you could join me for a minute, Steve. And I would like to not only thank all the members of this department has served for over 180 years, I think. This department has served the town of Bethel for longer than the town of Bethel has actually been incorporated as a town. And Clyde was an integral member of that long history, served the longest of any single firefighter that we've had here. So I'd like to read this proclamation and present this to Steve. Whereas we come together to celebrate the life of Clyde Finger and his lifelong service to our community. Whereas Clyde joined the fire service at the age of 16 during World War II and enlisted in the Marines in 1943. He was chief of the Bethel Fire Department from 1967 to 1962 and also volunteered at the AF and ME Eureka Lodge, VFW Post 935 and American Legion Post 100. Whereas Clyde was the last chief who covered both Bethel and Stony Hill fire departments, and he was integral in the purchase of Bethel's first set of hearse tools and helped acquire the very first diesel-powered fire truck. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Selectmen and the people of the town of Bethel, I'd like to present this proclamation to the family. I hope you keep him in your heart forever. I know you will. Thank you very much. And thank you for coming up from Maryland for this. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.